In the 1980s, America was gripped by fear. Children accused teachers and daycare workers of horrifying satanic rituals, entire communities panicked, and countless lives were ruined. But how much of this was real and how much was mass hysteria? This is the shocking story of the Satanic Panic. Chapter 1. How fear took root. The Satanic Panic didn't emerge suddenly. Rising fears about child abuse, Cold War anxieties, growing social insecurities, and evangelical influence combined to create the perfect storm. Early accusations appeared in daycare centres, most famously McMartin Preschool, where children described bizarre and terrifying rituals. Ordinary behaviours were misinterpreted as abuse, while communities became suspicious. Rumours spread quickly, fueled by sensational media coverage. Parents, authorities, and therapists were ready to believe the worst. Fear escalated into a nationwide moral panic, showing how societal anxieties, media influence, and cultural pressures can target innocent people. Ordinary towns became places of suspicion, where nothing was ever as it seemed, illustrating how fear can take root and spiral uncontrollably in society. Chapter 2. Shocking allegations that terrified America. As the panic spread, allegations became increasingly horrifying. Children described secret tunnels, blood sacrifices, animal killings, and long-term abuse. Therapists, sometimes unintentionally, shaped these narratives using leading questions and recovered memory techniques, giving them credibility. Teachers, daycare workers, and neighbours were suddenly accused of unimaginable crimes. Communities panicked, unsure who to trust, as rumours became almost indistinguishable from reality. Families were torn apart, and entire towns were gripped by paranoia. The terrifying allegations captured national attention and spread fear far beyond the original cases. Ordinary citizens became victims of false accusations. These events demonstrate how fear can spiral uncontrollably, transforming everyday life into a nightmare, and how collective anxiety and rumour can disrupt communities, destroying trust and social cohesion. Chapter 3. How headlines spread hysteria. The media played a central role in amplifying the panic. Television programs, newspapers, and talk shows repeatedly warned that Satanists were infiltrating communities and targeting children. Sensationalized reporting created a feedback loop, spreading fear far beyond the initial cases. Experts now refer to this as a classic moral panic, where public anxiety and media coverage reinforce each other. By the late 1980s, over 12,000 allegations were documented nationwide, yet almost none were supported by credible evidence. Ordinary citizens became targets of suspicion, while entire communities were consumed with paranoia. The media's influence demonstrates how reporting can transform rumour into perceived reality, leaving innocent people to face devastating consequences and highlighting the dangers of sensationalism when fear dominates public discourse. Chapter 4. Innocent lives destroyed by false accusations. Hundreds of innocent people were arrested, jailed, or publicly shamed. Careers were ruined, families fractured, and communities torn apart. Children's testimonies, influenced by therapists and coercive questioning, fueled many allegations. Even after convictions were overturned, social and psychological scars persisted. Teachers, daycare workers, and ordinary citizens became targets, eroding public trust. Families struggled under scrutiny, while some spent years behind bars for crimes they did not commit. Fear created cycles of paranoia, dividing communities and making trust nearly impossible. The Satanic Panic destroyed more than reputations, it fractured lives permanently. These events illustrate the human cost of mass hysteria and the dangers of unchecked fear, where innocent people suffered long before truth prevailed. Chapter 5. Trials fueled by fear. High-profile trials such as McMartin Preschool and Oak Hill became national spectacles. Courtrooms were filled with terrified children, lawyers, and expert witnesses, yet almost all evidence of organized satanic cults was unsubstantiated or coerced. Leading questions and recovered memory testimonies dominated, producing accounts that seemed credible but were ultimately unreliable. Most convictions were eventually overturned or dismissed, exposing the dangers of fear-driven justice. Courts became battlegrounds where hysteria often outweighed factual evidence, leaving innocent people to suffer while authorities struggled to separate truth from rumor. The The trials revealed serious flaws in investigative methods and child interviewing techniques, serving as cautionary examples of how mass panic can compromise the legal system, destroy lives, and highlight the critical need for skepticism, evidence-based procedures, and careful evaluation of testimonies. Chapter 6. The psychology behind the panic. Psychologists now study the Satanic Panic as a classic case of mass hysteria and suggestibility. Children's memories were easily influenced by coercive questioning, while adults often accepted their statements without verification. Therapists, media coverage, and social pressure created a feedback loop that amplified fear. Collective anxiety distorted perception, manipulated beliefs, and led to innocent people being accused. Even well-intentioned adults inadvertently reinforced the hysteria. The panic demonstrates how human psychology, combined with authority, rumor, and social pressure, can produce devastating consequences. This chapter highlights the destructive power of fear and suggestion, underscoring the importance of evidence, critical thinking, and skepticism to prevent similar crises. Understanding these dynamics is key to ensuring that society protects the innocent rather than punishing them due to unfounded mass panic. Chapter 7. Legacy of the Panic. The Satanic Panic left a permanent mark on law, media, and culture. Films, books, and television shows drew inspiration from the hysteria, embedding it in public consciousness. Legally, it reshaped child testimony standards, investigative practices, and therapy methods. Fear and rumor destroyed lives, ruined careers, and caused long-term trauma. Communities were divided, and trust in authorities eroded. The events serve as a warning of how moral panic escalates when media, suggestion, and societal anxiety converge. The 1980s panic demonstrates the need for skepticism, evidence-based investigation, and protecting the innocent. Collective fear can spiral uncontrollably, destroying lives long before the truth emerges. Vigilance and rational thinking remain essential. The Satanic Panic destroyed hundreds of innocent lives and left a permanent mark on history. For more dark history stories, hit like, subscribe, and explore the channel for more chilling tales from the past.